Hi friends, this is Jody Renshaw of Studio 36 and the Thrifty Pigeon, and we are at Back in the Day Antique Mall in Carmel, Maine. This is my first Shop With Me video, so please bear with me. I am learning. So we're inside now, and I headed straight past the register over to the first booth, and I am a sucker for Peter Pan, as is my daughter, so I checked out this first book. And even though it's in bad condition, I like to use the images inside. So I checked out what was going on in there, and those are pretty cool. I didn't buy anything this day. I ended up going back and purchasing just about everything I fell in love with in this particular video, and I forgot to pick that up. So here's me taking a card, and I will go back and probably pick that up to use for some Studio 36 work, some of that paper ephemera, because that book, I've never seen illustrations like that before for Peter Pan. I took a look at these postcards. I didn't find anything in particular that I wanted. And then these are gorgeous. I didn't see a name or anything like that. I think I was checking here to learn what kind of glass this was. And there is a name. Oh, Virginia glass. It's so beautiful. And I'm afraid of it. It looks so delicate. And I'm a little fast with the camera, so I apologize. Again, I'm learning. I've been wanting to do one of these videos for a long time. And so I just jumped in. I am a sucker for roses as well, and these are gorgeous. This whole roses thing is very new for me. I think I used to think of roses as, your grandma's decor, but I'm starting to use it in a more Frida Kahlo way in my decor, and I absolutely love it. The plate on the wall we just looked at was in my grandmother's house, as a matter of fact. In this booth, there's a mix of the old and new. I love pottery, and so I checked these out. That is a great price for that entire set. 39 something. Oh yes, just 39. And really nice, sturdy pottery. I'm not familiar with Francoma, so that's something I'm going to be looking up to learn more about. I wasn't in love with the pattern, but it was really nicely done. A kitty. So this booth didn't have much for me. It's sort of that Americana, would you say like shabby chic cottage? I'm not sure. Those boxes were nicely done, but again, I think those were a little bit modern too. But this back area, Soul Sisters and Company, I fell in love with a lot of things, and these plates I went back for. I didn't know anything about Spode. I still don't know that much. I do know that they sell well on eBay and other areas. I just knew that I loved the color and the pattern. So I'm not sure if I'm keeping them or not, but I did go back for those. And this booth just had really nice prices. And they make their own tags, and I just thought it was nicely done. And the lady who owns the booth, one of them, she was there, and I got to talk to her a little bit. She was lovely. This pot, I loved the price for one thing, but I also loved the sturdiness of it, but I didn't love the pattern, so I couldn't justify it as much as I love pottery. And I don't like to resell things that I'm not in love with, which might sound weird, but I have to love it to bring it home and resell it to some of you. Unless, of course, you have a special request. And this owl I went back for. I think he was $2 or she. I don't even know if they are vintage or anything like that, but just beautiful piece, so I went back for it. Not sure why I'm touching my camera. This decanter. So I am starting to fall in love with this look. And again, I don't know much about it, the bubble glass. I did buy a piece but at Goodwill, but it ended up not being what I thought it was. So it's a little more modern, but I think I'm going to keep that too. It's blue, cobalt blue, and I just adore it. I'll use it for lemonade. I think this was more modern too. Yeah, made in China. Me trying to put things back without making a lot of noise is quite a feat. I usually make a lot of noise and then shout, "Everything's fine. I didn't break anything, I swear." I love the lace there. And then I remember, oh yes, I come over here. This was a kind of a dumb moment for me. I looked at this and saw a suitcase and I thought, I wonder what's inside. But the tag already said it was flatware. So I don't know why when I opened it, I was disappointed to see flatware. When I went back to buy other items, that was gone. So apparently it was worth it. These are absolutely beautiful. And I'd like to use them in my artwork, in some of my photography. So I am considering going back for those as I'm starting to get into some floral photography. I have one of these at home, a Fenton Carnival vase. Mine, I think, is called like a petal vase. And so I'm always checking those out. I found mine at Salvation Army for $1.99. And mine is the orange. Hello, hello guys. I love waving at you guys in mirrors. So that's going to be a thing. This, oh, I guess I didn't pick it up that day, but that vase down there was made of like, it felt like it was made of brick. That I have in my home. I inherited from my mother-in-law, so I thought that was interesting. So here we are at a 20% off booth. They had quite a few of them, which I love to see. And these are Monopoly buildings, trinket boxes. I had never seen such a thing before. $19.99. I did end up buying those for $11 for all of them. And they're not worth a crazy amount of money, but I will probably put them each on eBay for about $10 each. So not a huge profit, but my husband loves Monopoly, and again, I don't buy things that we wouldn't be okay with keeping if they didn't sell and we didn't turn them over. I can't stop looking at this. So when I went back to buy things, I picked it up again. I'm trying to justify buying it at 20% off of $50. It's just so beautiful, and I love the way it feels. Pottery is my new thing. Roses and pottery. So that piece just feels really good and sturdy, and I love things that are handmade and hand thrown. And Pyrex, always Pyrex. Everywhere you go. That's the pattern there, the butter dish that we keep in our house. And I've been considering getting the butter dish, but I don't need it, so it would have to be a Goodwill price for me to grab it. Needlework. I absolutely love needlework, and this was only $5, so I don't know how I did not grab it. I mean, I would put it on my wall. That was someone's, I think, kindergarten graduation paper from, I want to say, the 50s or 60s. That was cute. And I'm just trying to show you a little bit of everything. There's so much to see at this place. This place is huge. Oh, hi. Hi, guys. This place is huge and deceiving because from the outside it doesn't look so big. But there is just so much stuff. These milk glass mugs really intrigued me. They're Fire King Exxon, and I would have thought they would have been worth more money. I looked up comps for them, and they're just not worth anything. I I was very surprised by that. This guy, I am seeing at almost every antique store I go to. I don't know what it is about that mug. If maybe a lot of Maine home or creamer, excuse me, if a lot of Maine homes had that particular creamer. It is vintage, so it's durable. It apparently survives because I see it a lot. And I didn't like the pattern of that, but I did think these peanut salt and pepper shakers were kind of neat. I see a lot of salt and pepper shakers, but I don't know that I've ever seen peanuts that you just lay on the kitchen table. That's fun. And yes, this Shawnee cookie jar was in really nice condition. And 40% off. But I don't remember how much she was actually. And I don't really deal in cookie jars, although I have one that I need to put up for sale. These guys were so cute, but look at the like schmudginess on the pink one. I don't know what happened to their face, but that was really cute. And of course, Pyrex. What do we have here? Oh, the glasses, yeah. Roses, but not really my kind of roses, except then I check out this purse, and I don't know anything about purses, but I love to dress it very colorfully, and I wondered if this would be interesting for me. It is leather, and you can smell the leather. I think this is me finding out how much it is. 30, as I make you all sick with the swinging of the handbag. Whoops. So this was interesting. I'm still learning, and I know that some nesting hens are worth money, but these looked like reproduction. I've never seen tiny ones that were actually vintage. Maybe I'm wrong, and I would love to be schooled on that in the comments if you know better. But there were a lot of them, and this whole booth looked like reproduction items, or a lot of them. So these measuring cups looked modern, and of course the sitting hens, and then the sunbeam stuff was all modern when you looked at the bottom of it. So I thought they were interesting, and I'm sure they're worth $18 new. But even though I love that color, it's just not my thing. And of course, this is the famous Maine Monroe Saltwork stuff, which does fetch quite a bit of money for the vintage stuff on eBay and other areas. But it doesn't do much for me, so I just don't like buying it. I mean, if I see it at Goodwill, certainly for $1, I'm going to buy it for resale. But most of the time, Mainers know that they're worth money, so you're not going to find them very cheap too often. I've seen some people find them, though, at yard sales and things. And that season is coming up. It takes a little longer to come up in Maine. So this guy was also reproduction. A bank, cast iron. And I think I checked out, his price just to see, even if he was inexpensive, even as a reproduction, bulldogs do really well. At least that's what I've found. And these coasters were interesting to me because I'm trying to make some for friends, and I wondered if I could just buy those and not have to make them for friends. So that's the upstairs, which on this particular day, I did not go up. I was just overwhelmed by the first floor. So when I went back to purchase the items that I wanted, I did go upstairs, and I'll make that another video. It was pretty interesting up there, and I did get some other goods. Me always picking up the pottery. I don't think I looked through the paper ephemera much. The Harley hog. He was 100 and what was it, 125, and now he's 25 because he has a chip on him. That's a little sad. I'm not sure why I checked these out so closely. Maybe because they're personal, and I thought that was interesting. So another 20% off booth, and I know I liked some things here, but I did not go back for them. Again, picking up the pottery, and I hadn't seen that signature before, so I wondered about this. And I haven't looked it up still, so I should probably do that later. There is a lot of pottery to be found in Maine. We are big potters up here. And some of it does really, really well. Anderson Design Pottery, they went out of business, so whenever you find that, it's a prize. I have a few pieces, and I've sold a few pieces. So this was interesting to me. I had never seen the Murano glass purse faces in person. And I have to say, I thought I would be more wowed, but I was not. And I'm sure there are people who love and collect them, but I just really didn't understand them. And I wondered how you would know it was true Murano. Maybe you guys could tell me. This was a nice booth, and I just thought that was a really interesting phone. And it looked like it actually was vintage, but I couldn't really tell if it was reproduction. I think I'm going to wave to you. Oh no, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you my new leggings. So soft. I love those leggings. LuLaRoe. So I thought this was a true pencil sharpener, and I got excited because my husband loves pencil sharpeners. But it's not even a pencil sharpener. It's a fishing lure. A fishing reel. And it was Avon, and I was way off. And these are Pier 1. And I am shaking a little bit, which means I'm hungry. So no percentage off of paint, guys. Not today. So some of the booths had like soaps and things that were newer. And I thought that was nice to incorporate that. And then when I came over here, that picture interested me. And I know that many of you watching are going to say, Jody, that's not worth anything. And I know, but I just bought all the goblets for it at Goodwill because I loved them, not because I wanted to resell them. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I could have the picture and then I'd have the entire set. So I didn't go back and get it yet, but I might if it's still there. And so here we have a booth with some trinkets. I love that color. And I know a lot of people poo-poo Avon, vintage Avon, but they did make some really nice things. They're just not highly prized. And my mother would have loved this Fiesta wear. I was checking to see if it was indeed Fiesta. I'm not sure how I would know otherwise anyway. It just said it was, so I believed it. If you tell me something, I'm going to believe you until I know otherwise. And this guy, oh my gosh. That was a little bit scary, like a hound from hell. And Charlie Chaplin was completely made of not cross stitching. I forget what it's called. It's embroidery of some kind. And that was a lot of work. I think he was about $100. I see a lot of this pottery. It's not from Maine. I want to say, oh, it says Dover, New Hampshire. Sometimes it's from Kentucky. I loved that girl and her dog. Reminded me of my niece. And some wall stuff. Just trying to get a feel for all of it. And I'm making myself sick here because I'm going too fast. But if some pieces are kind of boring to me, I just want to get past them, and then I make everyone sick. I'm sorry. So this was interesting. My dad used to collect statues that looked like this, and I was certain it was what my dad collected. But then, what is it, Cassidy? Or Cassades? That's not, I know that's not the name of what my dad collected. So I forget what the pieces are, but they look so similar. And you guys probably know the answer, so please do put it in the comments. I loved that tray back there. And I tried to get a feel for how it felt. And it was nice and heavy, which is great for having, not for shipping. And 20% off. When I was a teenager, I had those colored lights in my room. So this pattern is probably not at all new to most of you, but I had not seen this Pyrex pattern before, and I believe it's called Home and Hearth. Oh, what is it? No, Town and Country. Okay. I think those are both magazines. And so I see it, I end up seeing it more in this shop, and I looked it up, and it's not prized at all. In fact, it's hard to sell online, but I liked it. Maybe it's a little too 80s looking. Maybe that's the thing, is it's not mid-century looking like most people want their Pyrex to look. So this I absolutely loved. And my husband and I love ship pictures, ship art. And so I considered it 20% off of 30. But again, I didn't buy anything this particular day. I love a good rooster. Is that a rooster or a hen? I did have a chicken farm once. I would think of that as a rooster, but it's sort of in between. A little bit ambiguous. I love this design on Pyrex. And I think I was trying to figure out what the name of it was. Some of you know all this stuff by heart. The only one I know, what is it? Blue something. The only one I know, of course, is pink gooseberry, because that's the really highly prized. And I did buy some at Salvation Army and sold it for a really nice price. I found 3 pieces, and I think paid $5 for all 3, and they sold for well over $100. So always look for the pink gooseberry. Now where am? Oh, there I am. Hi guys. I'm always going to find the mirrors. So this platter, oh my gosh, I fell in love with it. It's Pier 1, and as you know, Pier 1 no longer exists. And I shut the camera off to take a better look at it. But when I went back, it was gone. So I should have bought it. And I think I couldn't get this back where it belonged. So I'm trying to make do. But this particular booth had a lot of pottery, and I was a little bit overwhelmed because I wanted everything. And I don't know what it is with me and pottery lately. It's a new obsession. I have no particular use for it in my house other than I want it there. And I just love that someone just handmade that, like literally with their hands, just molding and crafting the item. And I am so bad at it that I appreciate when other people do it well, and I like to be surrounded by it. So, and it's not a very expensive. This woman who you just saw touching a basket, she and I were talking a little bit. She was lovely, and she was buying a basket from a fellow vendor so she could use the basket in her booth because she needed a basket and didn't bring one with her. I thought that was sweet. And I like how they stenciled the floors here. I'm guessing if you have a booth there, you can kind of, within reason, do what you want with it. So it's funny, I checked these out on this particular day, $20 for both of them. Nice pottery. I don't think it was signed, either piece, but there's like a stamp that's hard to read. And when I went back to purchase items, I lifted those up again like I had never seen them before. And not until I reviewed this video did I think, oh my gosh, you loved them twice and still left them there. I mean, pottery bowls with lids you can always use. Mugs you can always use. Trays. I loved that bottle. I don't know how people do that. I mean, I've seen videos. Mr. Rogers, I think, even showed me how. But I still don't get it. And this had a mix of modern and vintage items, this booth. I am going to come back to this booth. Hi, guys. I'm going to come back to this booth often because I just really like their style. A lot of handmade vintage items, like this hand-carved frog we're about to come upon. He looks angry, like he needs some bugs. He's hangry. I think he was just $5, right? Oh, 15, excuse me. I love the shells in a jar. That's sweet. I collect shells and put them in jars, but they don't look cute like that. They look like a mess. The stuffed bison. I really need to figure out my finger on my camera, right? So I have some of these at home, the early pictures of families, and I don't display them, but I don't know how to part with them because I love them. And I checked out this cute little thing. I have no idea why I was interested in him. None. But he was just adorable. Or she. And I really need to stop looking at just pottery because I think you guys want to see more than just pottery. So I'll try to look at some other things. And I missed a mirror there. That was a missed opportunity. Or maybe you can even tell me what to look at. But gosh darn it, I love this stuff. And I think that was what? I think $4. Why didn't I grab it? Oh, $7. I ended up going to another place. Gosh, I can't remember. And a antique place in Brewer and bought some stuff like that. This, oh my goodness. If this was not a tin platter or tin tray, it would have gone home with me. I am so afraid of bending tin trays, especially the old ones. So I don't know how to display them. I just want to use them. But that floral pattern was absolutely gorgeous. I wish it was a painting. Oh, look up here, guys. It's Rudy Giuliani. I had to take a second look at the name. And his name is Rudolph, but it wasn't Giuliani. And the owl slate. I just wanted to feel it. I'm a weirdo. What else do we have? I kind of really look over vehicles and things like that. Like, I mean, I pass over them. I don't know anything about them. I pass over a lot of things. And I probably just made you sick. That phone I had growing up. That exact phone. Right there. Literally, we used it. And I'm not old. Well, I am old. But that was the 80s that we used that. We're getting close to the end, which I don't know yet. It's when I round the corner I realize I'm back to the front again. This place was so huge I did not show you all of it, even on that one floor. They put street name. Oop, the poodle. For $5, I should have gotten this. What was I thinking? I was thinking of Jeffrey from Nifty Vintage and how he always picks up poodles. But I have one, and see, it was 20% off. But I've had one on eBay for a month now that hasn't moved. So now I'm looking for, I think I was looking to see if there was a name or any chips. Maybe I'll go back for it. People love their poodles. This was completely made out of feathers. That parrot was made completely out of feathers. And I grew up with parrots, and I wish I had saved all, we had, 80 or so. My mom was the breeder. And so I wish I had saved all the feathers. I also love milk glass, so I'm always going to check it out. But I feel like those were modern. And if I remember right, we're going to take a right. And here we are back at the beginning where I think this is all by the register, because you have to get this unlocked to look at some of these things. They had 30% off. So that's pretty cool. And that Volkswagen. My brother collects Volkswagens. So this green glass, I didn't get to check if it was uranium, but I ended up buying a couple of pieces when I went back, and I still don't know because I still don't have a black light. So I need to invest in a black light, and I need to see if my pieces I bought were uranium. So I think we're nearing the end, and I want to thank you so much for watching. This was the last booth I think I went in, which is that shabby chic sort of modern things. I watched that floral piece get sold when I went back in. People do love this stuff. A lot of white. And these mugs I was asking about because I wanted them. They weren't for sale yet, but they are now, and I think they're $36 for all of them. And here I leave and head to my next thrift shop. So thank you so much for watching with me, guys. I'll have more videos coming up soon. Take care.